The first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn the Romanian deadlift. Okay, this is the first and most important exercise to learn. The way I teach it, Vanessa, is through storytelling. Okay, so follow along with me, and it's all going to make sense as we do it. Okay, but just follow along for now. So repeat after me. Romanians are sexy.
Romanians are sexy.
Okay, that's a principle here now. And the reason I say Romanians are sexy are because when you're doing the lift, you want to be in a sexy posture, which involves sticking your chest out, just looking good, not being slumped over. That's what I mean by sexiness. Close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. Repeat after that. Close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. Good. Now I'm going to tell you a story. I want you to imagine that you're a sexy Romanian waitress and you work in a restaurant and you serve cocktails. And you're walking around the restaurant, you're wearing like a short skirt, you look really, really good. And you notice that, oh my gosh, you have these cocktails in your hands. You're coming out of the kitchen with the cocktails, and the head chef always gets mad at you. He says, Vanessa, close the goddamn door. And because your hands are full, you always have to close the door by bending over and hitting the door with your butt. So if there's a door behind me over here, I'd bend over and I would hit it. Okay, that's what close the door means. Once you close the door in this imaginary scenario of ours, you're bent over and you notice that your legs are kind of hairy. And this kind of makes you concerned because tonight you have a date with a sexy athlete, a hockey player, and if you have hairy legs, you're not going to be able to steal his money. So when you're closing the door, you grab your little razors and you shave your legs as you come up. Just as you're coming up, the head chef comes out of the kitchen. He looks to see if you close the door. He sees your butt hanging out because you bent over, and he gives you a nice slap in the butt. So it looks like this. Close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. So close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. When you get slapped in the butt, that's the reaction you have, okay? This is all new to you. This is weird, okay? But this is the storyline that I use to teach someone how to do this movement. It's a lot easier to remember a silly story like that than it is to remember hip flexion, thoracic extension, and all these wordy things. So that is a story, the basic story of a Romanian deadlift. And there's 5 layers to this story. So I'm going to start by showing you this. Okay, let me just put this in the center here. I'm wearing my yellow socks for a reason so you can see what my feet do. So close the door. The bar comes close to your legs. It's literally touching my legs. Shave the legs. Slap in the butt. Closing the door. Shaving my legs. Slap in the butt. Closing the door. Shaving my legs. Slap in the butt. That's the first layer of a 5-layer cake that we're building. That's a story. And once you learn this story, you're going to know everything you need to know about training. So, go over there, behind the bar. You take your shoes off, and I'll explain this in greater detail later. You already know me a bit, okay? So approach the bar. I want you to grab it. When you grab the bar, I want you to put one thumb like this, and the same on the other side, okay? Your thumb should be aligned with the knurling over here. Look at what I'm doing. There you go. That's the knurling, that little separation there.
Okay.
Same thing over there. Now you have an equidistant grip. Then you could wrap your thumb around. Okay, good. So first thing is to get sexy. This arched back of yours, not sexy. Exactly. You stick the boobs out. All right, awesome. Shave the legs. Open those knees a bit. Take a nice deep breath in. And I want you to stand up. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. Close the door, bring your hips back, shave the legs as you go down, and right back up. We're doing 3 in a row. Go. That's 2. Always look straight ahead, don't look at me. Shave those legs, don't forget the bottom. 3. And back down. Good, okay? So you see how the bar's separated here? Mm-hmm. Okay, you have to shave your legs the whole time.
Okay.
For every centimeter or for every inch that the bar separates from your leg, it's going to be 7 times more pressure on your lumbar spine. So if this weighs 100 pounds, that's going to be 700 pounds of torque pressure or torsion force on your spine. You don't want that. Come back over here. So let's review that again, okay? Shoes off. So no shoe training here. Make the feet smart. Here I am. I grab the bar. Again, my thumbs aligned with the knurling here. Standard barbell. Get sexy. So this is what sexy is. This, not sexy. Okay? This, chest out, knife in the back or a nice straight back, very sexy. Closing the door, shave the legs, slap in the butt. Close the door, shave the legs, slap in the butt. We're doing 3 every time. Okay? Go ahead, do it again.
Okay, so my thumbs.
Your thumbs are there, exactly.
Side.
Good. You should be shaving your legs. Good. Get sexy now. Exactly. Look at the bar. You're always looking at the bar.
Okay.
Good. I want you to lean back a bit. Look at the bar though. You don't have to look up. There you go. Okay. So
Okay.
when you're on this bar here, you're pulling on it slightly. I want you to pull. Okay. This bar weighs 95 pounds. I mean, this weight over here weighs 95 pounds, which means you could lean back about 95 pounds and you'll stay in balance because that's your counterweight.
Mm-hmm.
Always look at the bar. Take a nice deep breath in. Slap in the butt. Slaps you. Good. Breathe out. Close the door. Shave the legs. Tap it and come back up. Hold your breath. Ready? Close the door. Shave the legs. Looking at the bar. Right back up now. Up, up, up. And put it back down. Great. That's layer number 1. You may go over here. I will now start to show you layer number 2. So the first layer of your cake was Romanians are sexy, close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. The second layer of your cake is angry bus driver, newspaper in the armpit, knife in the back. Say it with me. Angry bus driver,
Angry bus driver.
newspaper in the armpit,
Newspaper in the armpit.
knife in the back. Let me tell you the story. So during the weekdays, during the weekends, you're a waitress, but during the weekends, you're a bus driver. And the kids call you the angry bus driver because you're always driving and you're holding your bus driver wheel and you're just white knuckling it. You're just like this, okay? You grab the wheel and you're just trying to always break it because you just hate your job. So why don't you do that for me? Imagine there's a wheel here, okay? And just imagine you're breaking it. Good. As soon as you do the angry bus driver, okay? As soon as you do that, you activate these muscles. Imagine there's 2 newspapers under your armpit. There's a newspaper here, there's a newspaper here. While you're driving, you have newspapers on your armpit, okay? So you're this angry bus driver, driving the bus, trying to make a little bit of extra money, and you deliver the newspapers at the same time. So you have stacks of newspapers under your armpits. I want you to follow along. Do that with me. Angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit. Good, okay? As soon as you do that, okay, why don't you put your hands on my 2 back muscles here. Look what's happening when I do that. You feel those muscles contract?
Yeah.
That's what angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit is.
Okay.
The reason we do this is simple. When you contract these muscles, when you do that motion, all these muscles begin to stabilize your spine. And your brain says, oh, if my spine is stable, then I'm not at risk for injuring my spine. Because of that, I'm going to allow my body to lift a heavy weight because it senses the stability. If you don't do that, your brain will sense the instability in your shoulders and in your spine, and it will not allow you to lift the weight. That's why somebody could have a certain amount of weight on the bar, let's say 200 pounds, and then they just increase by 5, and for whatever reason, they're not able to lift that extra 5 pounds. Why? Because they didn't create the same amount of stability. So again, angry bus driver, do it with me. Newspaper in the armpit, now knife in the back. Little boy named Johnny hops on the bus, his little knife, he brought his pocket knife to school, and as you're driving, he stabs you right in the back. What's your reaction? It's this. You get stabbed in the back. Looks like that, right? Do that for me. Okay, good. So put your hands over here. Okay, angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back, everything is contracted. You could even feel the muscles down here contracting. Let me demonstrate. So Romanians are sexy, so be sexy, right? My little motion for sexiness is like this. Grab the bar, shave the legs, slap in the butt. Angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back. See what's happening with my arms here? Close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. Close the door, shave the legs, slap in the butt. Here's the angry bus driver part. All right, why don't you give it a shot?
When I come back up.
What's that?
When I come back up. Would I do the bus driver?
You're doing it the entire time.
The entire time.
The entire
Okay.
time you're doing the angry bus driver.
Okay.
Go ahead. So you're adding layers here, okay?
Yeah.
Good. So now, shave your legs. Okay, Romanians are sexy. Think about it. Romanians are sexy. So get sexy. Good. Okay. You remember the story now.
Bar. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead now. Slap in the butt. Go down. You have to look at the bar and shave the legs. The bar should never separate from your legs. Good. Keep it up all the way down. Yeah, don't let the bar separate. Pause over here, take a deep breath in. Angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, look straight ahead, knife in the back, close, go ahead. Awesome. Go back over there. All right. Here we are. That's fine. So, let's repeat the story, okay? What's the first part of the story? The first layer of this cake. Romanians are sexy. Close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. Repeat after me.
Romanians are sexy. Shave your legs. Slap in the
Nope.
butt. Close the door.
Romanians are sexy. Close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. Go.
Romanians are sexy.
Yep. Close the door,
Close the door.
shave your legs, slap in the butt. That's the general movement. The second layer on top of that, the details, okay? Angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back. So what is it? It's angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back. All these things I'm telling you, you don't have to remember the steps. You have to remember the story. There's one story. It's this life of a waitress, right? And she has multiple jobs and she goes on these adventures and you're just remembering the story of her life. So putting it all together again. Get sexy. So I'm closing the door. As I'm closing the door, I'm shaving my legs. I got my angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back, touch the ground lightly. I don't lose tension. Come right back up. 2, 3. Try that one more time, and then we're going to the next level. Romanians are sexy. Shave the legs, good. Push your feet to the ground, that's the first one, good. 1. Okay, so I want you to exhibit control. Don't slam it onto the ground, all right?
Okay.
Stop. Breathe out. Take a deep breath in. Angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back. Close the door. Shave your legs. And right back up. Breathe with me. Ready? Breathe in. Close the door. Shave your legs. Right back up. One more. Close the door. Shave your legs. Right back up. Put it down. Under control. And relax. Good. Stand over here. Awesome. Okay. So now the second layer of the cake. Let me just move this here like that. That should stop it. Great. Start the third layer of the cake. So let's review the story. You're a waitress. You work in a restaurant. You deliver cocktails. Wearing a short skirt. You have to close the kitchen door with your butt. You close it. You look at your legs, they need to be shaved, so you start to shave your legs. Just as that's happening, the head chef comes, slaps you in the butt, all right? There's a little bit of sexual harassment at work, but you let it slide because you kind of like it. And during the week or during the day, you're a bus driver, you grab the wheel of the bus, you're squeezing it, you're also delivering newspapers as you drive the bus at every stop, so you're making a little bit of extra money, and you have kids in the bus, they bring knives to school and they stab you in the back, okay? Doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be memorable. So, angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back. Now, third layer of the story, cave diver breath, all right? So after working in the restaurant and as a bus driver for so many months, you said, I need a vacation. And so you book a trip to Mexico and you decide to do a cave diving expedition in Mexico. You're gonna dive in caves with scuba gear on, and you're going to take a class with all these people, and it's going to be great. And so first class, your first day there, you slept in and you're late. And so you're running to try to catch everyone, and everyone's already gone. They've already gone into the cave, and you didn't learn how to put on your equipment. You don't know what you're doing, so you just go into the cave after them, and you swim, and you're diving underwater, and you realize, oh my gosh, I don't have any cave diving equipment, scuba diving equipment, and I'm running out of air, and I'm basically going to suffocate and die. But you see in the corner of the cave, you see a little flash of light, and there's a little pocket of air, so you swim to it as quickly as you can, and you surface. And what do? If you're about to drown, you're underwater, and you surface, and you're about to get air, what's your reaction? You gasp for air, okay? And you'll notice that a lot of people in the gym, they don't breathe properly. It's like they're smoking a joint while they're working out, or they're breathing by the nose, okay? But what you need to do to stabilize your body is gasp for air. And let me demonstrate that, why that's important, okay? Take your two fingers like this, put it behind your neck, like that. I want you to breathe in like you're smoking a joint first. You don't feel much movement there. Now I want you to gasp. Go. Louder, I want to hear it. Go. Go. Okay, you feel those muscles contract? Mm-hmm. Those muscles, or by gasping, it basically engages the muscles of your spine called the multifidus muscles, and all the vertebrae of your spine separate and elongate. You get a little taller, right? Your spine becomes more stable. Your brain senses that, and your brain says, hey, I like that. I like that you're stable. I'm going to allow you to lift a heavier weight because I know I won't injure myself. That's what cave diver breath is. So if we put it all together, Romanians are sexy, close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt, angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back, cave diver breath. Okay, so I'm going underwater. There's water up to my neck. I'm going underwater. Take a deep breath, holding my breath. Why do we breathe that way? Very simply, when you breathe in, air goes into your lungs. Your lungs expand. It creates air pressure that pushes out. It makes your torso, your trunk, more stable. Okay? When you do the angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back, all the muscles of your spine contract, stabilize your spine. You have more pressure. Your whole trunk becomes like a compressed cylinder. Also, when you flex your core and you take that air in, your lungs expand, your diaphragm drops down. There's a little muscle here called your diaphragm. It drops down. It pushes all your organs into your pelvic floor, and that squishes all your organs together. That creates hydraulic pressure. And so your whole body is a big compressed cylinder, and that's what you need in order to lift a weight, any weight. You need to do that all the time. It's not just for deadlifts, it's for everything that follows deadlifts. So again, here we go. And then it's you. It's here. You're up. That's right. Get sexy now. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. Look straight ahead. Don't look at me, okay? Take a nice deep breath in. Close the door. Shave your legs. Look at the bar. You're shaving your legs. Make sure you don't nick yourself. Come back up. Do not lose tension on the bar. Don't let it go, okay? Down. Right back up, right back up. Go. One more. Right back up, right back up. Put it down and relax. Good. Don't let it ever separate. Good. Awesome. Stand right over here. That's the third layer of the cake. Stand right there for me. Perfect. It's a little hot, I know. Why don't you put your shoes on? Don't worry about it. It's not nothing to worry about. Perfect. So let's go over the layers of the cake again. Romanians are sexy. Close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. Don't remember the points, remember the story. Why is all that happening? Imagine yourself in the restaurant. Imagine the uniform you're wearing. Imagine the guy coming to slap your ass. If you imagine that storyline, if you imagine that scenario happening, that scenario playing out, then you're going to remember the sensation or the feeling or the emotion behind the movement. And that's all you have to remember. That's like pressing a button that triggers a sequence or a program in your brain, like a computer. So we're putting software in. We're writing the code for software. And once the software is in, you just have to press a button every time. And the button you're pressing is an emotional memory. That's the first layer. Second layer, angry bus driver, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back. Why are you angry? You hate your job. You need the extra money. Billy stuck a knife in your back, right? That's the name of the kid, Billy. I didn't tell you that. You're delivering the newspapers. Life sucks. Cave diver breath. You go on vacation and you learn to breathe. Fourth layer. On your vacation in Mexico, you met the scuba diving instructor. Pablo was his name, and you had a good time. You guys you hung out while you were there, and you got back home, and all of a sudden you're back home and you start craving pickles. You really want to eat a lot of pickles, so you go to the grocery store and you buy 2 big bottles of pickles, and you try to, you know, you're like, man, why am I eating all these pickles? You're trying to open them up, and you're just unable to. And you're just wondering to yourself, well, why am I not able to, or why am I craving these pickles, is what you're saying to yourself. So you go to the pharmacy and you get a birth control test. You pee on your stick and you realize, oh my God, I'm pregnant. That one night with Pablo at the cave diving school knocked you up, right? And so you're like, now I really want these pickles. So before you were trying to open them and you just couldn't open it, right? You couldn't open a jar, and you said to yourself, well, you know what? I have pretty strong legs. What if I take the jar, put it on the ground, and I try to open it with my foot? Okay, see what's happening with my foot here? I'm pressing down on the ground and I'm creating an arch, an exaggerated arch with my foot. So all the pressure is on my toes and the outside of my foot. And I'm doing this with both feet, like that. This is what I call opening the pickle jar. Okay, that's layer number 4, opening the pickle jar. You're doing this with your hands and you're doing it with your feet. At the same time, you're opening the pickle jar. All right, this is torquing your body. And that's layer number 4. And so when you put it all together, it looks like this. See how I'm opening the pickle jar with my hands and my feet now? I'm white knuckling it. Right, my feet are like that. My feet aren't like this, they're like that. See what happens to my knees? They push out. And I'm doing that the whole time. Let's go over the sequence again, all right? The story. Romanians are sexy. Close the door, shave your legs, slap in the butt. All right, that looks like this. The sexy position means sticking your chest out, being proud. Slap in the butt, shave the legs. I'm doing the angry bus driver, newspaper in the armpit, knife in the back. All right, I'm taking my cave diver breath. And I'm going down, bringing it down slowly. As I'm doing that, I'm opening the pickle jar. Let's review opening the pickle jar. You went to Mexico. You got knocked up by the cave diving instructor, and there are these pickles you've been craving, and you're trying to open up the pickle jar. So you take the pickle jars, you try to open with your hand, you can't do it. You put them on the ground with your feet, and you grab the jars and you twist open with your feet, creating these artificial arches. That's what open the pickle jar means. So when you put it all together, it looks like this. I'm opening the pickle jar with my feet, and I'm also opening the pickle jar with my hands. I'm torquing out. Look what happens to my elbows, okay? My elbow crease is facing in towards my body, and when I open the pickle jar in my hand, like turning a doorknob, they face out, all right? At the same time, when that's happening, that's similar to holding a newspaper under the armpit. It's creating stability all along my spine. My entire back is flexing. See what's happening? That's stability for your spine. That's what allows you to lift something really, really heavy and continue to do so over time. So it's all the mechanical pressures that we need to progress with the weight. The further you progress with the weight, the more your body changes. Very quiet and controlled when I put it down. Go ahead, you're up. So approach that bar, make the bar touch your legs, your shins, good. All right, get sexy first. Wait until I say go, by the way. Knife in the back, newspaper in your armpit. Your eyes are here. This is what's important, okay? Pull on the bar, lean back, okay? Keep your eyes over here, okay? Lean back, good. Open the pickle jar with your feet, okay? You need to lean back. This is the problem right now. There should be upward pressure here. There's no upward pressure. Lean back with 95 pounds of force. Great. Take a nice deep breath in. Go ahead. Look straight ahead. Slow down. Take a nice deep breath. Good. Look at the ground. And up. Good. And put it down and relax. Great. Don't let it separate next time. Good. Okay, the last part of this little story here. Just pause there for a second. Put my shoe in the way here. Last part of the story. It's not a riddle, but it's basically a little brain teaser here. What's faster, a road bike or a mountain bike? On a straightaway, on the road, what's faster? A road bike? A road bike. Why is a road bike faster? A road bike has a stiff frame. It doesn't have shocks to absorb energy. And so when you deadlift, you want to be more like a road bike and less like a mountain bike. And a lot of people, when they deadlift, they're more like a mountain bike. And what do I mean by that? Very simple. They're lazy deadlifters. They grab the bar, they put themselves in position, and they lean on the bar. And you were kind of doing this before. You were leaning on the bar. And what ends up happening is, as you lean on the bar like that, you end up yanking the bar and pulling it. You hear that noise that's being made? That's the sound of the bar hitting the inner circle of the plate, okay? It means that there's not enough tension on the bar when you're lifting it. It means you're too relaxed. And so when someone lifts like a mountain bike, they do this. And they lose energy here, this shock, here, but most importantly, in the lower back. And that's why people hurt their backs when they deadlift. So don't be a mountain bike, be a road bike. A road bike means creating tension from the very beginning of the movement. So look at me here. And I'm already pulling back. Look at my wrists, okay? They're straightened out because I'm already pulling. I'm not like this. I'm not leaning on the bar. I'm conditioned to be like this. It's very hard to do this, but you have to condition your body to do it. Now, I'm leaning so far back that if I were to let go, I'd actually fall backwards. Why? Because this is 95 pounds, which means I could shift 95 of my pounds, my body weight, backwards. And that's what you want to do. You want to balance it out. You want the bar to become an extension of your body. It is a part of you, right? If you lean too far forward like this and you lift it, the bar is going to want to move away because your center of gravity is too far forward. You have to bring your center of gravity right where it belongs, which is near the shins, center of your feet. If your center of gravity is too forward, as you lift it, it's going to move away from you and you're going to hurt your back, right? So this is why we shave the legs. You understand? So every part of the story that I've told you addresses all these issues. You don't have to remember all these subtle details. You just have to remember the story. This is why I tell the ridiculous story. Romanians are sexy, right? Everything is embodied by the word sexy. Everything we've talked about. You don't have to remember the pickle jar thing. You don't have to remember the waitress thing. They're all useful things to remember, but you don't have to. Because when I say sexy, what does that mean? It means stick your chest out, torque your hands, torque your feet. This is sexy, the opposite is not. This is sexy, the opposite is not. Deep breath in, sexy. Exhaling out, not sexy. So everything we're doing is about that. When you put it all together, you get a Romanian deadlift. And this is the baseline story that you're going to use for all the movements in the 21 movement hierarchy, right, in the MH5 system. So, I'll do it really exaggerated now. Your turn. Go for it. So, where's your focus? It's on the bar, right?
On the bar.
Get sexy. Okay, you know what it means now, exactly. Newspaper in the armpit. Knife in the back. Scuba diver breath. Open the pickle jar, stand up. You see how easy you respond to the cues now. Open the pickle jar, shave the legs, close the door, stay sexy, slap in the butt. You only breathe in the bubble of air. One more. Up. Good. And relax, okay? Let me just address something. When you're breathing, you're rushing, okay? Put your foot on this for a second. Just put your foot on it. You're breathing, you're rushing, and you're coming to the top with empty lungs, and you don't fill up your lungs again. You go, you give like a little weak breath, and because of that, when you go back down, you don't have as much pressure, which means your spine isn't as stable, which means you become weaker, which means you burn energy, which means you're not training efficiently, which means you're not gonna get as good results over time, okay? So at the top, you take your time to, you let it all out over here at the top of the cave in that little air pocket that I was describing. And then again, you see how my lungs expand, my whole body becomes longer, and I have more stability when I breathe in. It's stable. I say gasp because it's audible. I want to hear the gasp. If you can't hear it, it's not a gasp, right? You're breathing in, you're smoking a joint, right? Try it again. Go really slow.
It's also a little heavy for me.
I know it's heavy, but
I need to concentrate and not drop it.
That's fine. If it was too light, you wouldn't learn anything either. So shave those legs, get sexy. Good. You need to lean back there. Be a road bike, not a mountain bike. Exactly. Open the pickle jar. Take a nice deep breath now. Eyes over here. Look at the bar, that's it. Push through your feet and stand up. Don't let go of the air at the bottom. One more. And come right back up. And put it down. Great. You have learned the Romanian deadlift. Congratulations. So that's a Romanian deadlift. Now we're going to move on to the conventional deadlift, okay? And now it's very simple. We spend about 40 minutes or 45 minutes learning the Romanian deadlift. And it takes the longest to learn because I had to teach you that whole story. This is why the sequence of events, the order in which I teach you movements, starts with this. Because once you learn the story here, I don't have to repeat the story. It's the same cues for everything else. Now we're gonna go into conventional deadlift, and there's only one difference between a Romanian and a conventional deadlift. And I'll show you that difference. So the story for a conventional deadlift is close the door. What was the cue I used? Oh yeah, go in the woods, stand up. So what's the story here? So you're working at the restaurant. Freaking guy with his lawnmower here. I hope the audio doesn't pick it up. I don't think it will too much. Anyway, so you're working at the restaurant, and some guy sees you, and he's like, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful. That's my future wife. I'm gonna marry her. But before I do, I have to test her to make sure that she's the right woman for me." And the test that he has for you is to take you on a camping trip, because he figures if you could go camping, then you could hold your own. You're the type of woman that could run a household and be independent, and that's what he likes, you know? So he takes you camping, and you're going along the woods, and he wants to see how you're going to react when it's time to do a number 2, go to the bathroom in the woods, okay? No toilets, nothing. And so you're there, and he's watching you, and a little strange that he's watching you do this, but he's watching you. And you go to the bathroom, and usually in the past, he's made girls take these tests, and they would fail miserably because they go to the washroom, or they take a crap. I'm just gonna say it, take a crap, okay? They pull their pants down, and they squat down. That's incorrect, because then they poop right in their pants, right? And that doesn't work. But you saw, or he saw you do this. You pulled your pants down, and then you just bent your knees slightly forward, and you were in this kind of relaxed position like that. And so your poop goes right over there, doesn't fall into your pants. You pass the test. So that's a conventional deadlift, okay? I know it doesn't make sense to you now, hold on. Romanians are sexy, conventional deadlifts are not sexy.
No.
That whole thing was not sexy. So here's what a conventional deadlift looks like. Same exact setup, but now my knees are forward like this. You see that? That's the only difference, okay? And I stand up. Close the door, shave the legs. Once the bar is below my knees, I drive my knees forward. You see what's happening there? Stand up. That's the only difference. This is a Romanian. Look at my legs. My knees are back. Very sexy. This is a conventional. Not sexy, because I'm going to take a crap in the woods. Give it a try. Go ahead. Go ahead. And I'm going to tell you when to go, okay? So, yeah. Get sexy. Newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back. Your starting position has the knees forward. So where's your center of gravity now? It's right over the bar, which is this part of your foot, okay? You're being a lazy deadlifter. You see this? You have to lean back. You have 95 pounds to play with. There you go. Take a nice deep breath in. Stand up. Very slowly. Once the bar's here, you bring the knees forward and right back up. That's it. That's all you have to remember. Once the bar passes the knees, bring your knees forward and right back up. Good. And relax. Awesome. You see how much simpler that was? Because you have the basic story now in your brain. Again, all these little points that I'm mentioning, you don't have to remember them. It's the emotion of the story. It's the silliness. It's the awkwardness of the story. It becomes memorable because you say, oh, what did Adam say about deadlifts? Oh yeah, that stupid story, I remember, and then you do it properly, right? Let me show you conventional deadlift one more time. Cave diver breath, newspaper in your armpit, knife in the back. See how my knees come forward like this? One more time for you, and then we'll go to sumo deadlift. I know, it's very fatiguing. So, get sexy, newspaper in the armpit, knife in the back. A little bit more with the knees, yeah? Exactly, you got it, go ahead. Good, knees forward, push through your feet and stand up. Push, 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 good. As you're coming up, you're pushing through the feet. You're pushing hard through the feet. Put it down. Great. You're tired. It's fine. No big deal. Yeah. We got one more type of deadlift to learn. We did Romanian. We did conventional. Now it's time for sumo. This is the honeymoon phase of your relationship. The guy in the restaurant and you, the waitress. By the way, the waitress's name is Barbara. Get it? Barbara? This is your girlfriend, Barbara, okay? So in this scenario, you're Barbara. Sumo deadlift is, you met the guy, Barbara met the guy in the restaurant. They hooked up, they went camping, everything went well. Great, awesome. It's time for the honeymoon. You got married, go to the honeymoon. Where do you go? Japan, okay? Why Japan? Because Barbara's a big fan of Japanese culture. She loves sumo wrestling, and that's just what happened. And so you're in the hotel room in Japan, and you're all excited. You wanna get busy with Barbara, make some babies, right? And you want to do a Japanese style, sumo wrestler style. That's why it's called a sumo deadlift. So you get into sumo position. This is you, the boyfriend, right? This is Barbara, and you grab, and I'm being very sexual here, but that's too bad if you don't like it. Okay, you grab Barbara by her pigtails, like that. Okay, your hand is directly underneath your shoulder. Okay, and Barbara's basically in the hotel room, and she's cleaning the windows. She's a neat freak, and she just cleans the windows, and you're like, ah, man, we're spending our whole honeymoon, and she's cleaning the windows inside the hotel room. So weird. You grab her by the pigtails, and you get in a sumo position, and you try to bring your baby maker as close to Barbara as possible. Okay, you see this distance here? This is how much distance I got, okay? Now, depending on how flexible you are and how mobile you are in your hips, you're not gonna be able to get as close to me, but I've developed that flexibility over time. But the idea is to spread your knees as wide as possible, to be as upright as possible. Grab Barbara by the pigtails, come up, give her a baby. Now what I'm doing is I'm spreading the knees here, pushing them out, touching the ground, coming right back up. Everything else is the same. Key point here, the knees must fall on the outside of the foot. If your knees collapse in, you're gonna hurt your knee eventually. Just imagine if someone were to kick you right here, my knee's like this, that would really damage my knee very badly. But if I'm in this position and I feel a force out here, I could force against it. I could stabilize that. Your shins are aligned with one of these little bands here. Make sure they're equidistant, equal distance apart. Okay, and every other rule is the same. Your feet are about a 45-degree angle. The distance between your feet is dependent on your height and your flexibility. If you're not super flexible, and this is as far as you could go, then that's where you start. But then when you're up here with a light weight, relatively light weight, you could kind of inch your feet out like that and descend with a wider stance. And you're slowly going to open up your groin muscles. Please, go ahead. So I'm going to help you here. Get in position. Grab Barbara by the pigtails. Closer. Her pigtails are much closer than that. Yeah, and you have to get into a sumo stance, which is wide. Wider, wider, wider. Wider, wider, wider. Bring your baby maker close. Put your feet over here, one foot here.
Okay. Please just give me a little bit more space.
What do you mean, like over here?
No, I want you to move a little bit back.
I need to do this. Sorry, I'm in your face. It's the last one. I'm in your bubble. Come on, come on. We're almost done. We're almost done.
Okay.
Bring that bar close to your legs. Shave the legs. Your hands should be on the inside of your legs. More. There you go. Good. Your knees have to come out more. Good. Can you bring your shin over here?
My what?
Your shin. This part of your, yeah. Good. Okay, pull back on that bar. You're being a lazy deadlifter. Look at that. That's it. I know it's uncomfortable. Okay, take a nice deep breath in. Spread your knees out. That's it. Pull. Start pulling. There you go. That's it. Good. Spread those knees. Spread the knees. And up. Open that pickle jar. Good. Spread the knees. Stretch your groin out. And relax. Good. Okay. You'll develop more flexibility and mobility over time. I'll do it one more time, and then you'll do it one more time. So again, first thing you do, position your feet. Make sure they're equidistant. Go as wide as you could possibly go while keeping your knee on the outside of your foot, okay? The knee cannot be collapsed in. That's danger. Grab Barbara by the pigtails. For me, it's right around here where the knurling begins. This is basically underneath my shoulder, okay? My hands are directly underneath my shoulder. My back is really straight here, and I'm keeping it straight up and down. When I'm bringing my baby maker into Barbara, she's still cleaning that window. I don't want to smudge the glass that she's cleaning. I'm not leaning forward like a Romanian deadlift or a conventional. I'm leaning backwards in a sumo because Barbara's cleaning that window, and I'm trying to make babies. One more time. It's all you. I'll give you your space now.
Thank you.
Nice and wide. Great. Don't be a lazy deadlifter, be a road bike. Yes. Now you see now, that's fine. So push your knees out now. Don't let your knees collapse in. More out, more out, more out. You see your knees are collapsing in, which means your feet should be a little closer to each other. Bring your feet closer to each other. There you go. And that allows your knee to be more out here. Pull on the barber's pigtails. There you go. Yes. That's it. You know all your deadlifts. High five. Congratulations. The end.